Okay, so I think we ended the pro. So any other questions so far? Yeah, exactly. If we are getting all the results correct for a training data, it is overfitting. For a training data, if we are getting it for the testing data, then that's great. I mean, yeah, that's a great program. Great model program. So increasing layers. So this is where we're going to start from, like after this part. So you can see here, optimizer SGD, right? So now don't get me wrong, but all the optimizers have their both, like have both their goods and bads. So you can really choose, like once you find out, like once you get the practice of how to choose an optimizer, you can choose it depending on the data later on. So as of now, like you can stick to Adams if you want, but you can obviously search about other optimizers at different sites and find out their pros and cons and use it accordingly. So increasing the layers. So in this what we're going to do is we're going to try to increase the layers. We're going to use 32. So you can see this is a for loop from 0 to 5. And we are going to create different models using this. So we need to find out if the best accuracy. So there was a question before. Do we have to increase the number of neurons or do we increase the number of layers? So that is what we're going to be seeing now. So say we take 32 and we start off with 32, like just taking 32 as the number of neurons, and we find out the accuracy. The accuracy is 0.88. So that is okay. And but as we go down, we can see that the accuracy is decreasing. Like right here, it's 0.481. And at the end, it becomes yes, it becomes 0.11. So you can see that this is a problem of overfitting because the accuracy of training data is great, whereas the accuracy of testing data is very less. So, so using this model will not be good for. So every time you get a data set, like in the end, you have to find out like how many neurons are needed or how many layers of neurons are needed. So this is the best way you can find out. So in this one, we first go deeper. That is like we use 32, then we use 32, 32, then 32, 32, 32, and we can like easily make a for loop and we can execute this program. And you can do the same thing on a playground, the TensorFlow playground, and you can see the result that depending, and even in TensorFlow playground, there's like a graph, and depending on that, you will find out whether it's good or whether it's, if the test accuracy is like increasing, etc. So, but in this case, you can see that it's decreasing. So as you go down, the accuracy is decreasing. So when the model reaches to 32, 32, 32, this one, it gets really less. The accuracy was around like 0.1. And then if we try, like instead of taking the same values, if we tried using different models, like if you use 32, then 64, then 128, and 258, etc., then this seems like a better approach. Like you can see that the test accuracy is 82, right? Sorry, 92. So when we first started with, yes, so first it was 0.89, then it kept on increase. Did it increase? Yes, it kept on increasing. And in the end, you get the value of 0.92. So this is a better approach. So now we can keep in mind that more than using different layers of same kind of neurons, you have to use different kind of neurons. And that will increase the values, the accuracy. So now this differs for every kind of data set. Now we try using 4089, 4096, and the accuracy is pretty good too here, 95. And now we can So we can conclude that we're getting a better accuracy using this kind of a model. So this is all trial and error. You have to make a for loop, try to go in like deeper, and if it doesn't work, then you can try wider, and sometimes you can try both. So like here, what they did was they used 32. The first one, it was 3 times. So 3 times they used 32. Then they used it 4 times, then 5 times. So you can see that it was used 4 times, then 5 times. Then they used 128, again 3 times. And then 4, and then 5, and etc. So this is a great way to find out what are the number of neurons that give you the best accuracy, or the number of layers. But this does take a lot of time. When you run it, it takes a lot of time to find the form the graphs, etc. And we also tried this method of taking different values, but the test accuracy wasn't good. So you can conclude that that the second method that we used was a better one, because it wasn't giving any overfitting data.